Ladies and gentlemen, she is taking talk shows to another level. She will inform, inspire, educate, and entertain you. And she is funny. It's Ayesha on the A Show.
It's another beautiful evening. I'm your girl Ayesha. And once again, I am here to invade your space. I trust that you've been expecting me. I am so excited, again, to be here to inform you, inspire you, educate you, and hopefully entertain you. Today I'm talking about a condition called endometriosis. Endometriosis is a painful menstrual cycle. I'm not a doctor, but the information I have about endometriosis is not very pleasant. It's very painful, excruciating, and very difficult as a condition. I don't know how it feels like, but I have a young woman with me who feels it and knows it, and is going to be here with her doctor to inform us about this condition and hopefully educate us. I am so excited. I can't wait to start talking with her. We'll go for a short break. When we come back, we'll start talking about endometriosis.
It's Ayesha on the A Show.
I decided to talk about endometriosis every day. I mean, people's faces sometimes they get annoyed because it is a taboo topic. But if this thing is creeping in slowly, if 1 in 10 women suffer this, then it is something that we need to be serious about and open conversations about it always. So from my experience, after being misdiagnosed for 11 years, I was diagnosed with stage 4. And that is the worst stage. I've gone through 7 surgeries and I'm still struggling to manage it. My point is, let's catch it early so that it doesn't lead to infertility. These tissues can really damage other organs, vital organs. So to cut everything short, I'm glad we're here today to listen to the doctors and share a beautiful evening together.
It's Ayesha on the A Show.
Welcome back if you just joined us. Like you heard me say in my introduction, I'm speaking to a beautiful young woman who has a condition, but she has not let that condition stop her from being who she is and doing what she loves to do. She's also not being quiet about her situation. She's sharing herself and her situation with all of us, because once somebody starts speaking, she becomes a voice for the voiceless, and indeed helps those that are ignorant and did not even know that there was this condition or situation. In all of this, I'm excited because today I get to engage her. But she's not here alone. She's here with her doctor. Yes, we have a doctor in the house. So our discussion is going to be very, very informative, packed, and I trust that by the time we're done discussing this condition called endometriosis, you and I would have learned a thing or two. I'm excited to welcome them both on the A Show today. Katie, Doctor.
Hi there.
It is such a pleasure to have you on the A Show today. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
You're most welcome.
You're welcome for the first time on the A Show. Kate, we've been engaging each other, and it's about time. We need to speak. We need to be heard. And so I'm happy that you could make it. So just a few weeks ago, you had your launch of your foundation, endometriosis. Let me say this. I had to actually practice how to say endometriosis. Am I saying it well, doctor?
Yes, you are.
You see the way I'm so... Because initially I was like, okay, endo, and then I said, no, actually, you need to get this right. So yes, I'm like, oh goodness, I'm glad, because, and I like it when I say it myself. I like the sound of it. Endometriosis.
It runs off your tongue.
Oh, baby. So yes, that's what we're discussing today. We would ask, or you probably haven't heard it before. What are they talking about? The condition is called endometriosis, and this beautiful lady has experienced it and is experiencing it. So when we say that he who knows it feels it, she is a living testimony of that. Kate, again, welcome on the A Show.
Thank you.
Endometriosis, I would ask the doctor, what endometriosis is. First, before we come to you.
First of all, thanks for inviting me onto this show.
Thank you so much for honoring our
And
invite.
thanks for all you do.
Aw.
I'm a big fan of yours and
Oh,
everything
Lord,
that
I didn't know that.
And it's an
High five. Thank you.
you do. Yes.
I'm
yes,
very
yes.
humbled. Thank you so much.
Yeah, so endometriosis is really nothing new.
Okay.
If you're an Ashanti, you heard about Enidane,
And it done it.
but
That's right.
Abrofo Freno, endometriosis. And it's a condition that has been with us from time immemorial, affects only women,
That's right.
and causes severe menstrual pain. We're not talking about the average pain that you take paracetamol, or you put a heating pad on your tummy and it goes away. We're talking about serious menstrual cramps that take people away from work, from school, and you cannot have intercourse, sexual activity. That's serious kind of pain that comes monthly.
Wow.
That is what defines endometriosis. And eventually, as our ancestors knew, Enidane leads to Awosie, which means you're not even able to
have
conceive.
children. Oh,
That
Lord.
is a condition we are talking about. It's nothing new. She has not manufactured any disease. It's been with us, but she's given it voice. So that people will know more about it and prevent themselves from infertility.
Oh, goodness. You make it sound so easy to understand, Doctor.
you.
Thank you so much. So, because you mentioned the name, and everybody's like, okay, what is that? Like you said, she's not manufacturing the name, but I think that's the key essence is that she is being the voice for the voiceless, because I think that a lot of people are suffering in silence.
Yes.
So, Kate, I come to you.
Yes.
How does it feel
Okay.
to have endometriosis? Because you feel it.
Yes.
You experience it.
Yes. Thank you, Ayesha. Endometriosis, I call it the endo monster because of the kind of pain. Everything surrounding it is dark. The pain is excruciating. And then the sad part of it, or the good part of it, is you look good. And so when you talk about what you're going through, people
Nobody
hardly
believes
believe what you're saying. But it gets me paralyzed every month. And from the age of 14, when I started getting my menses, it was hell. I thought, everybody goes through it, so why is my friends will not talk about this? I see them in their menses and they are going up and down, so why is mine like this? At a point, my friends even thought I was just trying to seek attention, because as for you, every time you are down, before, during, after, you're complaining about pain. And for me, I remember vomiting, back pain, chest pain, pains in my legs. It was just horrible. It's just, I thought, what was this? I mean, for 11 years, I was misdiagnosed in Ghana. I kept going to Kolebu. I'll go to my private hospital. They'll still refer me to Kolebu. Eventually, I was diagnosed with dysmenorrhea, which is painful menses, and I was put on birth control pills. But I was still in pain until I traveled and I had a crisis. Time of the month, I was sent to emergency. And even in London, when I mentioned menstrual pain, they put me on the least level, like it didn't matter. Meanwhile, I was being held, I couldn't walk, so I'm thinking, oh my God. So this is around the world though, it's not just Africa. Menses is something that a woman suffers, so a woman should go through pain, it's fine, it's normal. So it was my brother-in-law who approached them and urged them to take a look at me. I mean, if we had been able to sort it out at home, I would be there.
You wouldn't have been there, exactly.
But they just gave me painkillers and asked me to sit in a wheelchair. And I was just there moaning. So until he approached them and asked them to go and look for endometriosis, because he said his ex-girlfriend had the symptoms that I had. And lo and behold, they came back. For me, it was bittersweet because they came back and I had a name to what was happening to me for 11 years, unexplained. I felt weird at a point. Finally, they said, okay, you're suffering from endometriosis and you are stage 4 sufferer.
Wow.
So
we have stages.
Yes, we have stages. For me, the stage 4 wasn't anything that was making me panic. It was bittersweet. At last, there's a name to what was happening to me. So for me, it was, that, as I said, bittersweet, because finally, and the stage 4 that they diagnosed me, they couldn't do anything for me. Normally, they would laser or do a surgery, like try and do something about it. But because of the severity of it, the growth had covered most of my organs. So I had to take an injection in my tummy, medically induced menopause, so that for a year before I was able to have the surgery.
Sweetheart, pause. So, doctor, I love to hear her story because this is real. It's not something that she's created. This is what she goes through every month. What are the first signs of endometriosis?
Right from the very beginning, when this young woman started experiencing her menstrual cycles, you will notice that there's something unusual in the severity of the pain.
Okay.
And that outside of the menstrual period, they are completely normal. They don't feel any pain. It's only during the time that they are on their menses that they become dysfunctional and they are in pain. That is the first sign that a woman may have endometriosis. In fact, 87% of young girls, I'm talking about high school girls, 13, 14 years old, starting their menses, with this level of pain, nausea, vomiting, have endometriosis until proven otherwise. The problem is we don't talk about menstrual periods. In our culture, illness itself is not really something we Africans celebrate health. If you are sick, we push you aside. And how much more if it has to do with your menstrual period? We don't even talk about it.
It's a taboo.
You know. So if we are able to address this and say, okay, what causes women to have menstrual pain? There are only three things. There's something called primary dysmenorrhea, which means the birth canal is very narrow because the woman, the young girl, has never had children. And so when the blood is coming through, it's painful. Those kinds of conditions, you can give ibuprofen, paracetamol, they will do well. They'll be able to go to school. Endometriosis, they will not respond to that. So you can try a few medications, but if you try them and they're not working, it's time to think about endometriosis. Because the key to treatment of endometriosis is to stop the disease from progressing to cause damage to the insides and the reproductive organs and relieve their pain. And it can be done. There are medications to arrest this disease and prevent it from progressing from stage 1 or stage 2 to stage 4.
Okay. So she's in stage 4.
Yes.
Would you say that stage 1 is like the worst stage?
Stage 1 is
it's
the
rather the
mildest
mildest.
form. That's when the disease is just starting. This woman still has good fallopian tubes. She can still get pregnant. Even stage 2, she can. Her tubes are nice and open, and she can still get pregnant. When it gets to stage 3, stage 4, her fallopian tubes are blocked, and she needs in vitro fertilization to even be able to. But before you even get to that, she cannot have sex because now she has so much pain that sex becomes something impossible.
Wow.
Yes, it's very painful.
Wow.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. 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 Okay. Kate, you go through this every month.
Yeah.
But you haven't let this stop you from moving on with your life.
Yeah.
You have chosen to be that voice that speaks about this condition, so that for 11 years you could not even put a name to what was wrong with you. Trust me, I can relate to how painful that would be, especially when you have to always go to the hospital and you're complaining about a condition and you're just giving some first aid and asked to go home and you feel better. Indeed, you feel better for a while, and then when they come back, it probably gets worse. You know, so I've had a condition like that that took a while before you could actually be told that, okay, this is what is wrong with you. Because one thing is to know what is wrong with you, and the other thing is to actually get solution or medication for it. So I think that I can understand that journey, you know, and it's a shame that it took 11 years before you could actually get to even attach a name to it and then seek treatment for it. But you are asking other women to do same, but sooner than you. How has that journey been for you?
Okay, it's been interesting. When I started doing this, I get, why do you want to talk about a taboo topic? I get a lot of that. But for me, for what I've gone through, I think I found my voice, and just me telling somebody that this is not normal pain, it has helped a lot of people. I just started last year fully doing this campaign, but it's amazing. It's so fulfilling. Getting people coming to you, confiding in you, sending them to doctor. The results that come, oh my God. Sometimes doctor will say, you brought them at the right time.
Oh,
because if you had waited, and there's one thing about the tissues with endometriosis, it can travel any part of the body. It can go to your brain.
I read.
Yeah. If it gets to your brain, it's behaving like it's in the uterus, so it's bleeding. So somebody can get a fit at the end, at the time of the month, because when it gets to your belly button, it's bleeding like it's in the uterus. So it's the more we open conversations about this, the better.
As a doctor, endometriosis is
at all.
It robs you of your womanhood.
Totally robs you. Yeah. And as doctor was saying, even intimacy. Imagine.
Yes.
Imagine.
Messy.
It's just. I remember I used to panic anytime I start like romance with a
man.
Then I'm panicking, like I want to pass out, because I know the pain I'm going to be in during and after for days. And so some people will think that, oh, you're just making up something. It's because
I can imagine.
Yeah. Hardly would they believe you that, come on.
Yes.
I must be very good. Why are you complaining?
Exactly.
Dr. Hannah.
Why are you doing that?
Why are you doing that?
Yeah.
Go on, get a hold of yourself.
Yeah.
Yes. Very sensitive people.
Exactly.
They wouldn't get it.
They won't get it.
Wow.
Yeah. And then the treatments, Ayesha, it's another thing.
No, I can imagine.
Yeah, the treatment is another, putting you to menopause, medically induced menopause. But that's the only way can stop the growth, like from getting worse.
From getting
yes,
worse.
because the more you have your period, the worse it becomes. So that's the only way we can.
And
treat
you can't
it
say
better.
that you have your period.
Yes, but when you're ready to have a baby, I think doctor will elaborate.
No, we're going to
on
go
that.
there because.
But when you're ready.
So in your stage 4, you can't have intimacy. You can't have sexual intimacy.
I can, but it's
you
painful.
can, but it's painful.
But for now, after the 11 years misdiagnosed, I've lived with it for 19 years.
19 years.
So I've found ways. Now
that
I think
works
it's better. That works
for you.
Yeah.
Okay. That's nice. That's nice to hear. Yes.
I guess the treatment also helps.
Okay, so the treatment helps as well. So this will be a bit direct, but I need us to understand.
Yes.
So doctor, is Kate able to have a child if she's ready to have a child?
Right now, I hate to say it because I have not broken it to her directly. But
we need to be. I want to confront this in
you are
a
very
more
direct.
direct
I
way.
want you in your interview.
Oh, goodness. Oh, doctor, that's supposed to be a compliment, right?
It is a compliment.
Yes, because I want us to inform people.
Yeah.
In as much as we're informing, I also want us to give hope to people.
But that's real.
By inspiring them
Yes.
that, hey, this is it. Do you understand? So,
Unfortunately, Kate will now require in vitro fertilization.
Okay.
And we are talking about close to, what was the last quote you got?
Almost 40,000.
Almost 40,000 Ghana cedis
Yeah.
before she can get
you can
pregnant.
do the in vitro.
Yeah, if that even works.
If it works.
It
So
works,
now
yeah.
it has become very expensive. The higher the stage of the disease, the more expensive it is to treat.
Street.
And that's why Kate's advocacy of diagnosing this disease earlier on, when it costs just about $1 a month to treat, is much better than waiting for it to get to stage 4, where now you're looking at 40,000 cedis.
Oh.
And even the medication to treat it,
Treat it, yes, monthly.
is about 15,000 cedis for 3 months.
Aside the 40,000.
For 3 months.
This is just to relieve you of pain and allow you to be able
Normally,
to have intimacy
like,
normally. You're going to spend 15,000 cedis
Yeah.
every 3 months.
Every 3 months.
Just to live comfortably. So it's better for you to be diagnosed early, stage 1, stage 2, preserve your fertility and save a lot of money, and also keep you comfortable. Because what she mentioned about taken 11 years for her to be diagnosed. Worldwide, not just in Ghana, it's 10 years from the time a woman starts complaining until the diagnosis is made.
Wow.
A lot of research is going on about endometriosis. I just read last week that is the #1 most puzzling diagnosis to make by doctors around the world.
Possible. Is the #1 what?
Most difficult diagnosis to make in women, in any medical condition, period, around the world. So a lot of research is going on about this condition. We still don't understand everything about it. It's a very complex disease.
It is complex,
Yes.
and I still have more questions to ask, more direct questions. We'll go for a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
It's Ayesha on the A Show.
Aquaba is the feeling of joy when you know you are home, where you sleep in luxury and comfort, and wake up to the breeze of the Atlantic Ocean. Aquaba to Labadi Beach Hotel, where the food is fresh and the smiles are genuine. Now you know you are home. Ghana's finest 5-star hotel, Labadi Beach Hotel. The legacy lives on.
It's Ayesha on the A Show.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're watching the A Show, and I'm here discussing with Dr. and Kate the condition called endometriosis. If you missed out on our first edition, goodness, get yourself a cup of tea, some glass of water, something that you like to enjoy, and stay tuned, because honestly, you're going to be informed. We trust that by the time we leave you this evening, you would have impacted yourself with more knowledge for your own good. We are recording at the beautiful Labadi Beach Hotel, and as you can see today, we are doing all the greens. It's lovely, it's beautiful, and I'm enjoying it. I think my guests are also very, very, very
Beautiful.
Very nice.
much comfortable with our sets and our location today. So Labadi Beach Hotel, we are glad that you're on board with us, the A Show, and thank you for having us. So we're back. Doctor, before we went on the break, you actually said that endometriosis is getting more complicated.
Yes.
And in trying to unravel why it is this bad, is the #1 what?
The #1 most difficult medical condition
Medical condition.
for doctors to diagnose worldwide. More than Alzheimer's disease and any other disease out there, because we have known for a long time, since the beginnings of time, that women suffer infertility, their difficulty conceiving. And we've known that women with their menstrual cycles sometimes have menstrual pain, and those who have the most severe pain end up infertile. But to make that connection that it was endometriosis that was causing it has been a challenge, and also why it creates all the symptoms that it does. But if I can take a moment to explain really what we know about endometriosis and why it comes about. Simply put, the lining of a woman's womb is the endometrium, and it's meant to respond to hormones in the woman's body and shed blood once a month, called the menstrual period. This tissue is so special that if it ends up in any other part of the body, it will respond to the hormones in the same way and bleed every month. So, take for example, if it ends up in the human eye, the woman will go blind, bleeding in the eyeball every month, and we've seen that. Bleeding. And we have currently 15 patients referred to us from Kolebu Teaching Hospital who cough up blood every month when they are on their period, because the endometriosis has ended up in their lungs and is behaving just like the lining inside their womb. So that is all endometriosis is. It's tissue that was meant to be in your womb and bleed out through the vagina once a month. But it has ended up in other parts of your body, some places where they cannot escape, the blood cannot come out. So it stays there, creates pressure, and causes pain and disease. That's what endometriosis is.
Kate, today I will engage your doctor more because I have heard you speak on various platforms. And I mean, if somebody is watching you today for the first time and listening to you, well, maybe they wouldn't know your story. You're still, you know, taking us on your journey. But I need us to really understand medically, you know, what your condition is and where you are and how best, you know, because you have become a voice to the voiceless, how we can also help you for being the selfless to share your story with us. That is what I want to do on the issue with you today. So, Doctor, I'm coming back to you, and we said that one, we know that Kate's condition is in stage 4.
Stage 4.
And
the worst kind.
That's the worst kind. And if she would be able to, you know, bear the fruits of a womb, she would have to go through
in vitro
fertilization, which is going to cost her 40,000 Ghana cedis. Aside the 40,000 cedis, she needs 15,000 Ghana cedis for 3 months to be able to medically live well or have wellness before she can go through this process. So we're looking at 55,000 Ghana cedis. We want Kate to go through that because it's a 50-50 chance, even that, whether she'll be able to still carry a pregnancy or not. But there's no harm in trying, right?
Absolutely.
So, okay, we want to do that. Are you ready?
I'm very ready.
Fantastic. So, because I know that she wants to be a mother, and it will be such a joy to know that this didn't stop you from being a parent. So, doctor, 40,000, 15,000. We're going to give ourselves a try.
So,
what will be the process?
She's given up her job to do this advocacy process. And I admire her so much for taking on this crusade.
I do admire her too.
Because she has no other funds, and yet she has found it necessary to help others, and that is so admirable. I just admire her so
I know, I can tell that she's cheering up. So now we don't have tissues, but it's okay. I'm going to help you do the cheering up because I'm very emotional right now, and I'm emotional because, you know, when I heard her story the first time, I said to myself, you know what, the menstrual periods pains that we used to have was nothing, really. Because I used to go to the hospital as well, you know, at a very young age. When I started my period, I mean, 2-3 days I couldn't go to school, you know. But when I hear you speak, then I know that that was nothing compared to what you are going through. And I have been privileged to work with sickle cell patients, you understand? So I can understand pain. You know, when they say somebody is going through excruciating pain, I think that I can understand it. You know, so I understand where you are every month. And for me, it shouldn't still stop you from living your best life. So, Kate, you just launched your foundation some weeks ago.
Yes, I did.
And I don't want you to cry again. It's okay. It's okay. So, let's go on. And so now we have some laughter. That's it. So, I'm encouraged, I'm inspired because I like it when I see young women who are not letting their situation, you know, stop them from living their lives. And so you are really an epitome of a strong woman and somebody that is giving hope to the hopeless and indeed a voice to the voiceless. And so really thumbs up. Thumbs up to you, honestly, thumbs up to you. And so how was the launch? How did it go?
Oh, it went well. Fantastic. More than I expected. We had a lot of hitches here and there.
I remember we spoke about it before.
I can only thank God because the surprises that people were saying, these are my friends, the people that were performing that I don't know them one-on-one personally. They are performing for free for me and they're calling me their friend. I mean, I didn't expect it. Somebody like Exdo, Ekojo, the saxophonist, this poet, Nana Sase. He let a lady do something for me specifically, and then for women in general. Oh, it was
really
just
nice.
beautiful. And the choral Africa, everything went. I can't complain. I mean, it was more than I expected. So I thank everybody who was part of it, and God bless everybody.
So we have done the launch.
Yeah.
So it's the beginning of bigger things and better things to happen. So the few or the little, awareness that you created via social media has been impactful.
Yes.
From the results that we are getting now.
It
has been.
Yes.
And it can only get
better. I read
better.
some messages and I get teary. You changed my life. I didn't like myself. I like myself better. And these are teenagers. One is 16 and one is 17. And I mean, they went to see doctor and they're okay now. I mean, I can't, there's nothing so fulfilling than helping another. I really enjoyed my job, I mean, with Bayport, but I'm enjoying this, although I don't have any funding. I mean, I don't have anything to fall back on each month. I mean, I'm fulfilled. I have no word to describe. When I wake up in the morning, I feel like I was existing. I'm living now because I'm doing something that is helping. I'm a very private person, but I mean, since I started this campaign, because I sit back and I think I can do something about this situation. I call it a medical crisis because gradually it's creeping in. Gradually, if 40 to 50% of women who are infertile is caused by endo, then why? We should do more. We should open more conversations and
Now
talk more about this. Yes.
And I will
It's not the fault.
yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Now you didn't.
Yeah. I get it. Like, heels now share. And no nama why barren.
That is ignorance.
Yes.
At least we know that.
We need to communicate more and say and let them know that there's actually something that is causing this and it's not my fault. Unfortunately, I love kids a lot, but hey, at 44 I would have thought my son or my daughter would be 20 by now, but I'm still hopeful.
But you believe that you can make that happen?
Yes, I do. I know by God's grace.
I want to be a part of that journey. I want to be a part of that story because I am touched by your story. And I believe that if all young women or any woman that finds herself in any situation is bold enough to embrace it, and make a bad situation look good, there will be fewer women to look down upon themselves because it shouldn't define you. Your condition should not define you. I think that is a tool you have, and I like the fact that you are using it to tell a success story. And I also like the fact that you say that you are more fulfilled because people can actually come to you or use you to encourage themselves. I am not lost for words, but I say no. Sister, me I lost for words, doctor. That's how it's me about me.
Because idea Kate is so noble. In the United States, can you imagine, sir, they establish a platform for young women to go onto and talk among themselves and discuss their symptoms, the treatment approaches, and it helps them tremendously. But idea Kate Aye, my sister Mania Sonny said, just from starting this awareness campaign, so many people are calling her for help. She's able to direct them to me, sometimes just even on the phone. I'm able to advise them to now challenge their doctors because the doctors themselves don't know a lot about endometriosis. So more doctors are also reading up about this condition and are coming to listen to my talks and learning how to treat these women better. So it's becoming a national movement. And that's why we need to support Kate. Now, my goal is to be able to get her to go from high school to high school.
That was just going to be my next question.
I did a program with her at Yasantua Society at Legon campus. And the reception was so good. These are university students suffering this disease. And we're happy to hear her talk about her condition. And if we can all support her, donate money to her charity, and let her be the ambassador, we cannot stop our jobs. But if she has left her job,
Selflessly.
let's just support her with money.
Yes.
To be able to get a bus, a truck, get her video, everything together, and travel from high school to high school and enlighten the teachers, the students,
The
and
school
eventually
nurses
the
and
school
all
Yes,
nurses.
recently,
Yes.
Accra Girls.
Yes.
I went there and the headmistress asked me to speak to the nurse. And she had no idea.
No idea. So this
She was so
she's
glad
our
she spoke to me
ambassador
because
now.
she had no clue. Because
the
what the
girls come.
headmistress said to me was, she is like the doctor on campus.
Exactly.
So speak to her. And all the girls come to her and she was like, really, you could see on her face that probably back to class and thinking, says she's just putting on an act. But there
And
was
you remember
something
the
really
lady
wrong.
You referred to me. She was at your inauguration thing. She's from Holy Child College.
Oh yeah.
in Cape
Yes,
Coast.
yeah.
And this
The
girl,
first song, yeah.
when she has her menstrual period, the whole dormitory, nobody is able to sleep because she screams and is in pain.
Yeah.
We had one in school like that.
And they called Kate. Kate hooked them up with us, and we have her on treatment now. She's doing better.
I see.
Oh, she's
So,
fine. Fantastic.
This is the
Wow.
advocacy that Kate is doing, and if we can expand it to the whole nation, because 1 out of 10 women in the world suffer this condition. And I don't care whether they live in Yendi, Tamale, or
Wherever.
wherever.
They have
1
to be
out
reached.
of every 10 women. And these people need to be reached.
They need to be reached.
Yes, yes. And I agree with you. And I add my voice for us to push this campaign because you can't do it alone. And like he said, we can't leave our jobs. But if we can add our voice and our support to your cause, I believe that we can get the right, results that we are all looking for. The tertiary institutions, I think that's where it starts. Because at age 12, 13, most of these young girls have started bleeding or having their menstrual cycle. And so it is very important that they get that awareness from day one so that they are more informed as to what to do. Because I think the most don't even complain so much to even their parents. Among themselves, they talk. And if you don't have the information, how do you help your friend? Because I think when we're in school, you complain. Like you said, paracetamol be. Now, wakofa. And when I was growing up, the words you hear is, oh, Berkoh.
Yes, that's
it.
Yes.
They used to admit me at the Trust Hospital, like the whole day, detain me and stuff. And they say, oh, we want keja, wa went. Now, obema akola bi kwa edi emeka ko. I only ready so back. So really, that is not the information that we should be giving our children. But the fact that they should seek medical care and medical attention. Sa kasa na mehwe mu munya keka ati na muntie nkwala na mo for mo hospital na o Berkoh so
say am hwe ni ye momo a na be lead to infertility rather no mo say o ya Berkoh but ya hwe momo
ye mpese ye benya stage 4 cases ni bi ye decate be ye stop ye the near end of that situation. So we have the early signs. Doctor, you've educated us on the signs that should take us to the hospital for treatment. So Kate is on treatment now. She tells me she's in a good place. I'm happy to hear that. But the agenda is to make Kate a mom. So we know the costs that we can start with. So you said also that it's 50-50 chances. So let's say that we're taking a leap of faith. We want to take the chance. And medically, 50% chance. What's the next stage? It works.
It works.
What would be the next thing?
Yeah, the good thing about endometriosis is that once they conceive, the 9 months of pregnancy, they are not going to have any menstrual periods.
Obviously. So that's going to be like
that's
very nice.
Nice.
Oh, goodness.
And that in itself treats the condition. And what we've observed also is that it takes up to 2 years after the woman has had a child before the symptoms start coming back.
Okay.
And so what we advise them to do is about 6 months to a year after you have the baby, you go and have another one. And immediately. And as soon as you've completed your family, then if you need to remove your womb, you're good.
Okay.
And you don't have any more pain with your
So the
cycle.
womb is out, so no more cycles.
No more cycles.
No more pain.
No more pain.
Katie, because I agenda. I was saying, Basusa. Recently, so there's this early menopause and all those things.
Yes.
So 44,
Yes.
it is possible to have a child.
Oh,
Oh,
yes.
yes.
44.
Yes.
Oh,
And so
yes.
we're not giving hope.
Yes.
So I feel like the 50% has worked.
Yes.
And so I'm excited. So it has worked, and we're having 2 babies, you know. Yeah, we're doing. Or maybe just straight up, we'll do some twins.
Twins.
Exactly.
How about that?
And then we do some twins, and then, God willing, we take this womb. We say, God, can you have your womb back?
Yes.
Thank you very much. And
Because
then,
that's too much many
and
problems.
now we can leave.
Yes.
You know, we can leave and actually take good care of these beautiful angels.
Yeah.
I think it's possible and it can be done. I am more than excited to be on this campaign and journey with you. We'll go for a short commercial break. We'll be right back.
It's Ayesha on the A Show.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, you have missed. Seriously, you have. You are still watching the A Show. I am your girl, Ayesha. I'm here with Kate and Doctor, my newfound boyfriend. Yes. We are talking about the condition. I like to call it a condition because if you know how to manage it, you can actually live with it. So it's a condition. So far as I'm concerned,
Yes,
I don't like
it
it when
is.
people say it's a disease and all those things. It is a condition, and it is called endometriosis. If you do not understand what endometriosis is, I have been learning. So you let me go back to the doctor.
Ayesha, you're doing very well.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, Kate, we're back.
Yes.
Before the break, we're on an agenda.
Yes.
You, myself, you, and doctor. The agenda is to get Kate here, who is a stage 4 endometriosis patient, to carry her babies in her womb, to be a mother and to enjoy that beautiful gift above there. I mean, like, it's beautiful, you know, and I really want her to go through that. It's something I wish for you. So we're on a campaign. If you love me, if you watch me every day and you admire me, thank you for watching. Today I'm asking you to come on this journey with myself and this beautiful lady who has selflessly given herself out there to be a voice for the voiceless. She's saying that together we can actually manage endometriosis. We can actually stop this pain. It's a big deal. She stopped working and selflessly here, informing you and I. The gift we can give back to her for her selflessness is to help her to at least have one dream of hers come true. That dream is to be a mother. I am a mother, and I know how it feels to be one. And I want that for you, Kate.
Thank you.
Great. Many of your campaigns too. What do you now? So, doctor, you've really informed us. Kate, you've done the launch.
Yes.
You were actually saying to me before we went on the break that in the UK, there was a finding that black women are the only, or we were not supposed to even experience
They don't
this.
have endometriosis in the
So-
beginning. That's what they thought.
Okay, so it's the reverse of sickle cell. Actually, you know that sickle cell
Yeah.
is a
Yeah.
black-related disease.
Yeah.
So this one affects both
Yes.
color,
yeah.
races.
Races, yeah.
I see. A little bit of that story. I'm
Okay,
interested.
so when they went in, almost the severity of it, they said, for a black woman, they were shocked. So they asked me if they can use my biopsy for research. And I said, why not? If it's going to help somebody one day, I mean, why not? But they were really, really shocked. Because they said, even a black person suffering cry was a no. They thought a so seeing the severity of it was another thing. So for me, I thought if that's going to help somebody one day, I mean, you're already opening me up, so I might as well, yeah. So
The
they're using
feeling.
it for research.
the pain
Yeah,
and throwing yourself out there,
yeah.
has it affected your relationships?
Oh yes, a whole lot. Yeah, I get people approaching me. Oh, I understand your condition, and I'm going to be there for you. But when I'm in the crisis, as in I can't walk, and at a point I was disabled in my left leg. I couldn't use my left leg because the tissues had damaged my nerves severely. So for a year I was going for physio. They gave me a device that was shocking me, trying to get life back in the leg. All didn't work. I mean, so just watching people around me disappear because they thought she's paralyzed. I mean, at 25 you are paralyzed. It was a whole lot. It affected my self-esteem. So that's why I want to be there for these girls.
Yeah.
I need to, before I came on set, I was speaking to one of them. You need to keep pushing and encouraging them that you have this condition, yes, but it's not the end of the world. Life goes on. Whatever you want to achieve, you can achieve. Because for me, my self-esteem was zero. I had to work it up. I was depressed at a point. I had to speak to a counselor. Because at 25, they put you in menopause state, and then you are paralyzed in your leg. I mean, I was thinking, why? Everything bad is happening. So for me, I want to be there for these people and not let it get to the stage I was in. Even not getting there, be supportive emotionally, support them and let them know that it's not the end if you have it. You can still live a good life without pain, too much pain. I mean, this thing is horrible, Ayesha.
So they understand, they tell you.
Yes.
And yet, when you're going through pain, they are not there
they
to
run.
support.
They run, yeah.
So it has affected your relationships.
Yes.
But you still have some good support system.
Yes, I do.
Great. So the support system understand that we're on an agenda.
Yes.
Okay. They know. I hope they do, or they will
know.
hear me. That's because we will need them to be here.
Yes.
Because it's a phase.
Yes.
And because you've gone through phases, this is also going to be another phase.
Yeah.
And I believe strongly that you would overcome this phase as well.
Amen, yeah.
And have that success story to tell,
Yes.
because you need to share that with others
Yes.
who feel that there's
It's
no
the
hope.
end, yeah.
And that is how I want your story to
And
somewhat end.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you understand? And because you still have your whole life ahead of you, and I don't think that we should just end it by just talking, sharing, and not having something to give you back, to be fulfilling. Do you understand? Because after all the giving, something comes out of you. You lose everything. So there should be that thing that replenishes all the energy that you take away. So this agenda must come on. This agenda must come on. Are you in a relationship?
not at the moment.
Not at the moment. Eviba.
Amen.
Michelle, come on, show yourself.
Amen.
And also be better. You believe that, you know, because I believe that I personally, I don't see limitations in my life.
Yes.
Because I believe that everything that we go through, it's for a reason and a purpose.
Yeah.
And so we're able to go through it. And that reason is, you know, revealed to us. We don't understand where we're going. So there's always a phase, and we need to just embrace it as it comes and not be so hard on ourselves.
Yes, sure.
So that's what I want to share with you.
Yes,
So
thank you.
I believe that it's a phase you're in, and everything will be fine. Everything will be fine. We're going to be wrapping up soon, but before you leave us, Kate, I want you to tell us your expectations from here on. I mean, after the launch.
Okay.
What else are you expecting?
Okay, I'm expecting to go to the JHS, SHS, tertiary churches, groups, women groups. I just want to go offices, open conversations about this. What I'm doing at the moment is, if I share on WhatsApp, I urge people to share on their groups that they belong to, and it's working, it's helping. But I believe the one-on-one with the schools would really help, because some of them are there that want to speak to somebody, but they've been told that, oh, it's normal, shut up. So they need somebody that has the experience to open up to and speak to. So I believe that is something that I'm passionate about. That is my next
and the
mission.
schools, I believe that we shouldn't just look at the girls' schools.
No.
We should look at even the mixed schools,
Mixed schools,
because
yes.
we live with men, we live with boys. And so if they don't
have
understand
sisters,
the situation we're in,
they need to
they
understand.
would not be able to be there to support us. So I think that it should go both ways. So I personally am going to be giving you like 5 schools in Cape Coast for you to go and talk to them, secondary schools.
Okay.
Because I believe that's where it starts.
Yes.
So, and that campaign, I'm on that journey with you.
Amen.
I promise you
Thank
that.
you.
So we're going to do that. Go to them and talk to them because they need to hear it.
Yeah.
So watch out, we're coming. Yeah, we're coming like kakai. Amazing. So that is one of the things you want to do after the launch.
Yes.
And any other thing you want to do. You remember we talked and I said that I'm hoping that you can have an engagement with the Women Caucus in Parliament.
Yes, I actually wrote to them.
Okay.
And at the moment, I've spoken to Honorable Felicia J.
Okay.
She's trying to link me to Honorable Adjoa Safo.
Okay.
And so, yes,
Yeah.
we are working on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because as it says, they speak for us
Yes.
or on behalf of us.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
it would be nice if they also appreciate and understand the
Yeah.
condition so that they add their voice to
Yeah,
it to
she's
give it
actually
weight.
linking me to the gender and then education and health
Ministry.
as well.
Beautiful,
Ministry, yeah.
beautiful. Because we need all of them to come on board
Yeah.
for this campaign to be successful.
Successful,
We can't allow this young woman to go out there all by herself. I mean, hey, she's not earning anything, but yet something is pushing her to do this. So we need, the least we can do is support her and encourage her and to help her agenda to come to pass. Agenda no me, I find it personal. What I want to say, but I be ye. What I say? Oh, but now we show love. No, I'm the love. No, echo. Is there any contact number, any bank address details, whatever? That's
Yeah.
if somebody is watching us now and they want to be a part or support your foundation, they can just send monies to directly.
Okay, it's 024, it's an MTN.
Okay.
024 9750561. For the Vodafone, I'll have to send it later to you. I
That's
don't
fine.
have
So
it, yeah.
every contact details we're going
yeah.
to put on our screens.
Mm.
And so if you're looking for the details or how you can contact Kate or how you can support her foundation, you'll find the contact details on our screens. And so please pick it up. Please don't call and ask her how she's doing. It's good. Ask her how she's doing, but please call because you want to support her.
Please visit the website.
Namun jai
as well.
sadie na ya mo ye na mo so ya na for the numbers to two screens so na mo frefre ahemacha ni pe da adwen na mo frɛ mo nya sadie na nye fe what mo frɛ because you want to support, mo frɛ because you want to help, and stop that calling to just be come back be but I love you for watching. In passion now can
That
be
make us a website.
they should also visit your website
yeah.
and then see exactly what
There's
you're
more.
doing there. Doctor, your final words.
For us all to support Kate in what she's doing. And for my part, I'm trying to impact on the medical community.
Thank you.
I'll be giving talks at medical conventions, and I just spoke to several doctors at the American Embassy, trying to educate them so that as she raises the awareness, if these patients get to the medical facilities, they will be received better and know that there's treatment to help them also.
Viewers, I like the way Dr. Francis Dixon says doctor. Sexy. That's the American way of saying it, doctor. I kind of like that's we talk about going. We can't be all serious about this. Endometriosis is here. It is not pleasant. It is not beautiful. But we're trying to add some sexiness to endometriosis. That is what we are doing on the issue today. So the pain is there, but you know what? We're still going to be sexy about it.
Yes.
So, doctor.
Thanks, Ayesha.
So, and they both have such beautiful names. Dr. Francis Dixon and Miss Katie Burks. That's right. I like the names. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation.
Thank you so much.
And really
Ayesha.
informing us.
Thank you.
I hope that in my own small way, I've also been able to, give you the vim to go
yes.
on, my dear.
Absolutely.
You have in so many ways.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
This
Thank
has
you.
got to be the best
Best
show we've
so
done
far, yeah.
so far. And I didn't expect any less from Ayesha or Ayesha. Thank you so much.
Honestly, the best so far.
My head is it big? It's okay.
It's okay. Thank you.
It's the best so
really,
far.
thank you so much. Thank you so much, so much, so much, so much. And Kate, it's the first time, but you're going to be a regular. Trust me, because every success story we need to just share it, so that everybody knows that this is an ongoing project and it's not going to end anytime soon. I pray that the Almighty gives you the strength to go on.
Amen.
I pray that He favors you as you go seeking help and may doors open for you, so that this platform will be meaningful and successful
Amen.
in so many ways than just one.
Amen.
Thank you so much for coming on the A Show.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching. We'll go for a short commercial break. When we come back, Ayesha Moments will be next. We'll be right back.
It's Ayesha on the A Show.
It's time for Ayesha Moments. And yes, when I started the show today, I told you that we're going to be informed about a condition called endometriosis. I trust that listening to us, listening to the story of this beautiful young woman, Kate, and her well-needed doctor, Dr. Francis Dixon, you have been indeed informed and educated. Endometriosis is a condition, yes, but when we're able to find out about it sooner than later, we're able to manage it, live with it, and actually live like any other normal human being. I'm so informed today. I'm truly inspired as well. And together, I want you and I to support this beautiful cause that Kate has started. I trust that together we can all add our voice to this cause. The foundation has been launched and she's working on informing all of us on this condition. Please, if you didn't pick the contact, kindly do so. Touch base with us if you have lost the contact. We'll gladly give it to you and support a sister on this journey. Together, let's also put a smile on her face as she has selflessly given us herself and her time. I love you so much for watching. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Remember, doing what is right today means no regrets tomorrow. I love you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.